Hi, my name is Cold Beer, and let's start with Metal Hellsinger. You'll kill demons to the rhythm of metal and vengeance on an infernal journey through the 8 hells. This is a rhythm first-person shooter bursting with monsters, gorgeous weapons and heavy metal music created for this game by amazing metal geniuses, like Serj Tankian for example. Yeah, Serj himself sings a new song created especially for this game, and you kill demons listening to it. The song was created with the idea behind it that it is meant to be listened to while killing demons. It is hard to wrap my head around this fact and how metal it actually is. So if you like fast-paced first-person shooter games like Shadow Warrior or Doom, search no more. Metal Hellsinger is what you need to kill your boredom with style. Potion Craft Alchemist Simulator. This is a really unique and satisfying game. Here you will learn how to make various potions, from rat poison to love elixir, which you can later give to your mother-in-law so she would love you more than her actual daughter.
What a devious plan this is.
Also here you can buy various ingredients from traveling merchants or grow them by yourself in your medieval garden. Game has about 90% of positive reviews for a reason. People on Steam are saying that Potion Craft is a really relaxing chill game without many restraints, like time that runs out. No, nothing like that here. Really simple yet thoughtful game. Tannenberg. The game brings the massive battles of the Eastern Front and the First World War to life, with 64 players fighting for control of key sectors of the battlefield, each one offering a distinct strategic advantage. Here you'll find authentic atmosphere with accuracy in everything, from maps and weaponry to uniforms. Game has great tactical squad-based FPS, players Romanian, Latvian, Austro-Hungarian, German or Bulgarian. But I have to warn you that if you don't have 64 friends, just forget about those 64 player battles. The last update was a year ago and there's like 30 people online averagely at all time. Still, the price is nice and so is the game. A Plague Tale Innocence. Here you'll take control of young Amisha and her little brother Hugo in a journey through the darkest hours of history. Haunted by Inquisition soldiers and surrounded by unstoppable swarms of rats, you will struggle to survive against overwhelming odds. Dead, rotten bodies lay everywhere, and rats, oh, those creatures can and will eat anyone alive who does not carry a light source. As I always say, this is a bit unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Rats are no vampires. I used to own one, it liked bathing in the sun rays.
Well, what if those are vampire rats?
I never actually thought about that. Anyway, keep in mind that the atmosphere here is grim and dark, so if you are a sensitive person, it may prove a challenge to play. Game tend to pull the ropes of emotion, and if you let your guard down and allow it to do its dark job, it will control you like a puppet. But in general, all that darkness is cool and original, keeping in mind all those airy, fairy unicorn games people are used to play these days. My Time at Portia. This is a fun and relaxing RPG, a great open world game with an incredible amount of stuff to do. It is similar to Stardew Valley, but has more depth in it, literally because it is in 3D and figuratively because it is bigger in general. And this is the best game if you just want to relax. Here you arrive in a weird post-apocalyptic new town named Portia to inherit your father's old building workshop and spend your time restoring it to its former glory. It's definitely not a game for a serious RPG lover, but sometimes it's just good to relax, catch some alpacas, build some experimental devices, and even go to a dungeon to fight giant rats. Definitely a game for the whole family. The Surge 2. On the way to Jericho City, your plane is shot down by a mysterious storm and crash lands in the outskirts. You wake up weeks later in a derelict detention facility inside the city. Armor-clad soldiers enforce martial law. Robots are on a rampage and a dark, expanding nanostorm looms over the cityscape. So long story short, everything here wants you dead. But you are not some lame puny peasant, you have your mechanical sword and can beat enemies with it and take their parts and make yourself better in the process. Imagine if you hand wrestle with a coworker you hate, then you win and take his eyes as a prize. Well, that took a dark turn rather quickly, right? Airborne Kingdom. This is a sky city builder where you grow a unique town among the clouds, build housing, satisfy needs and grow your clan. Maintain lift, balance weight and be careful not to run low on fuel while you fly it across a wide open landscape, which changes with every playthrough. So as you can imagine, this is mostly a management game that will take all your attention. You will search for resources, find lost technologies and discover the fate of the ancients. Well, honestly, nothing good ever happens when someone has to to use the word fate in your description. You know, for example,
The fate of that boy.
will never mean that he achieved greatness. More likely he was eaten by a shark, or
The fate of that country.
yeah, probably bombed by nuclear devices rather than achieved prosperous democracy and wealth. So the fate of the ancients, you know, expect that the worst happened to them. Not necessary though, but very likely. Anyway, here while discovering everything, at the same time gain allegiance with the ground kingdoms and help them find artifacts, construct monuments and build trade routes. Your guidance can propel an era of harmony. But knowing you, you will probably crash into some thriving city and kill thousands of innocent people instead. Yeah. Creaks. The creators of Samorost and Machinarium created this masterpiece as well. I don't think they are capable of something not great. Most of their games have a Steam review score above 90%, and so does the Creaks. This is an immersive puzzle game that delights our eyes with its hand-painted visuals and precise animation. It also has great sound design and an eclectic original score from Hidden Orchestra. You'll proceed at your own pace at figuring out the solutions of dozens of carefully designed puzzles, explore the mansion for hidden paintings and uncover the great secret. As developers say, Creaks is best enjoyed with a controller and a good pair of headphones. Dawn of Man. This is a nice city-building game where you control some ancient people, hunt mighty mammoths, gather various herbs and build Stonehenges. Although, what is the meaning of them? The game also has great AI. Not as great as a Skynet, but that is nice because Dawn of Man will fail if it tries to conquer the real world. Although we never know what simple AI is plotting against us. We will never know until it's too late. The biggest flaw of the game, in my opinion, is the game's color palette. Boring greenish-brownish tones everywhere can be really hard to the eye, and the game itself is focused on survival and not war, so keep that in mind if you like to wage battles. Of course, there are some war elements. You have to defend your settlements from various raider scum, but that's almost it. Mutant Year Zero: Road to Eden. This is a tactical game that combines the turn-based combat of XCOM with real-time stealth and exploration of post-human world reclaimed by nature. And mutants. And by saying mutants, I don't mean human mutants. Those are all gone. Now smart animals rule the world.
Define smart.
Well, you got me here. They are not always smart. They sometimes do stupid decisions because, you know, you are controlling them.
Oh my god, how dare you!
Shh, it's a joke. So although animals can speak here, it's definitely not a Disney kind of world. It's brutal and cruel, and survival of the fittest is in progress. Here you must venture out of the city to explore the zone where one day you might find the Eden of legends. The ancients' heaven in the middle of hell. I guess with mountains of potato salad and rivers of cold beer. Maybe you will find your answers there. Then again, maybe not. Game has really beautiful graphics, great humor and an interesting story. Also very positive reviews on Steam. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. In the near future, Bolivia has fallen into the hands of Santa Blanca, a merciless drug cartel who spreads injustice and violence, kidnaps people and kills those who stand in their way. Well, that is kinda obvious if you ask me. Imagine a drug cartel who spreads joy and freedom, enforces the superiority of the law and pays taxes. I really doubt that this is how drug cartels work, although I think so. I have never created one, yet. So here you will discover the diverse landscapes, both on and off-road, in the air, on land and at sea, with over 60 different vehicles. And your goal is kinda obvious. You have to dismantle the Santa Blanca cartel. You must do that by fighting fire with fire. You know, they kill people and you kill their people. They spread violence, you spread even more violence among them. They sell drugs, you sell even more drugs. Oh wait, maybe not the latter. Anyway, show them who's the real boss in Bolivia is. Probably not you though. Machinarium. This is one of the cutest and coolest puzzle games I have ever played, although keep in mind that it will truly test your IQ. Puzzles here are really hard. Well, they are all crackable, but if you are not a die-hard puzzle fan, it may be a challenging brain sport for you. The world of Machinarium is populated only by robots of various forms and functions. One of the most interesting places in this world is the old, rusty and legendary city where the game takes place. You will have to get rid of wicked robots, save the mayor of the city and also your robot girlfriend. A dream of yours, I know. It's a wonderful game and it has an overwhelmingly positive review score on Steam as well. Faeria. Are you bored from Gwent and Hearthstone? No problem, try Faeria. You'll find enough content to keep you entertained for hours. Basically, if you like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, then you may very well like the deck building aspects of Faeria. Game involves tactics as well as strategy, since it uses a hex board which makes it stand out from similar games. Also, graphics and style will blow you, well, at least your mind. Game used to be free, but now it's not. It got a lot of negative reviews because of that, but don't worry, the game is still great. It's just not free anymore. And now it even has very positive reviews on Steam. I can only guess that by monetizing the game, the message Faeria is trying to send us sounds like
"Stop being poor" or something.
Well, that's rude, Faeria. Wow, just wow. You can't say that to people. Let them be poor as long as they like. Graveyard Keeper. Here you can make candles from human fat, burn witches, and even sell mystery meat to the local tavern. Well, you and I, we both know that this is human flesh from corpses, but nobody else has to know, right? That is not a question, by the way. You know, you wouldn't want to visit a local tavern as a special guest. You know, I like you. Anyway, Graveyard Keeper is the most accurate medieval cemetery management sim of all time, because obviously there are no other medieval cemetery management games. You'll build and manage your own graveyard and expand into other ventures while finding shortcuts to cut the costs. Use all the resources you can find. After all, this game is about the spirit of capitalism and doing whatever it takes to build a thriving business. If you have guts, try this game. If not, you can always harvest some from a fresh dead body. Black Skylands. This is a steampunk experience that combines elements of open world, sandbox, top-down shooter and action-adventure games. You'll become a skilled and valiant young sky marshal, fighting to protect your people from the invading bad guys. You will take command of your own airship and embark on a journey through a world of boundless skies. Gather resources to craft powerful weapons, upgrade your ship to new heights, unearth ancient secrets and engage in beautiful battles. When I played the alpha or demo version of this game a few years ago, I was really impressed by the style of the game. It surely draws inspiration from Hayao Miyazaki and his creations. Also, do yourself a favor and prepare for yourself some Abney Park, Steam Powered Giraffe and other soundtracks from steampunk bands. This way you can truly elevate your experience with Black Skylands, that's for sure. Asterigos, Curse of the Stars. In this high fantasy world, you will discover the long-forgotten secrets, interesting battle encounters, interconnected maps full of places to explore, and an immersive story where every choice matters. The game is really fun if you like light Souls-like battles and can enjoy a bit of cartoony graphics, but not everything is nice. Game has no map, like at all, so you will have to remember all the places in your head. That of course creates another level of immersiveness because you will have to use your actual navigational senses you usually never use in games. But do we actually want that? I don't think so. Anyway, if you decide to obtain it, the game will take about 30 hours from your boring life. Returnal. This is an incredibly beautiful action roguelite bullet hell. Here, after crash landing on a weird shape-shifting world, you must search through the barren landscape of an ancient civilization for your escape. All alone, you find yourself fighting for survival until death. Yours, of course, again and again. When you are defeated, you are forced to restart this journey every time you die. The fun thing is that you'll discover that just as the planet changes with every cycle, so do the items at your disposal. Every loop offers new combinations, empowering you to push your boundaries and approach combat with a different strategy each time. In other words, this is roguelike, but it's not boring at all. Game is still very expensive, but if you want something brainless and beautiful, you know, look at the mirror. Anyway, jokes aside, this is truly beautiful brainless bullet hell, although system requirements are quite high, so be sure you have them above minimum. Marvel Spider-Man Remastered. Here you will take on the role of Peter Parker, who is fighting big crime and iconic villains in New York City. At the same time, he is struggling to balance his chaotic personal life and career, while the fate of the town rests upon his shoulders. Yeah, this Spider-Man has some experience, he's not a newbie by no means. After 8 years behind the mask, Peter Parker is a crime-fighting master, so here you will feel the full power of a more experienced Spider-Man, with improvisational combat, dynamic acrobatics, fluid urban travel traveling mechanics and environmental interactions. You'll swing through vibrant neighborhoods and catch great views of iconic Marvel and Manhattan landmarks. Also, you will have to use the environment around you to defeat murderous villains. And you don't want any murders in your town. Well, except those who die in the process of you fighting the villain. Those are acceptable losses, and nobody will ever miss those people. Everyone knows that. Game has an overwhelmingly positive review score and is a true gem for every Spider-Man fan. God of War. Here you play as Kratos, a man who now lives in the realm of Norse gods and monsters. It is in this harsh, unforgiving world you must fight to survive, and teach your son to do the same. So to say short, he will slay the whole pantheon of pre-Viking gods and creatures, because why not? You are awesome and they suck. This version has some nice upgrades compared to the PlayStation version. For example, here you'll enjoy true 4K resolution with unlocked frame rates. I can already smell your computer's fear because you may smell him burning. You will also get higher resolution shadows, improved screen space reflections, ultra-wide screen support, and so on. Game also supports DualShock controllers. Forza Horizon 4. The game will be delisted from Steam on December 15th, and not only from Steam, from all other stores as well. That is due to licensing and agreements with various brands and partners. You know, to use the original car models, you have to buy licenses, and those in this instance are limited in time. Of course, they could rebuy everything, but Forza Horizon 4 will never be as profitable as before. It is an older game after all. Anyway, if you buy it, you can play it after delisting as well, so last chance to obtain it. You know, it has around 90% of positive reviews on Steam, and it is one of the most loved games by racing fans in general. Here you can collect over 450 cars, race, do stunts, create and participate in open-ended campaign. Also, dynamic seasons change everything. Go at it alone or team up with others and explore beautiful and historic Britain in a shared open world, meaning that you can play this game alone or participate in online player versus player races and so on. I'm not a big fan of racing games, but I'm tempted to get this one as well. Days Gone. This is an open-world action-adventure game set in a harsh wilderness 2 years after a devastating global pandemic, which made a lot of zombies out of unlucky humans. Here you will take control of a bounty hunter trying to find a reason to live in a land surrounded by death. You will scavenge through abandoned settlements for equipment to craft valuable items and weapons, or take your chances with other survivors. Days Gone has very positive reviews on Steam, so if you like zombies, give it a try. Although, have you ever imagined that somewhere in the universe there's probably a planet of zombies and they are creating horror games about becoming human? And honestly, we actually are pretty terrifying. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. This game reminds me of Witcher, but for a younger or, you know, less brutal audience, because it has somewhat similar battle mechanics, open world full of monsters, many dialogues, third-person view and so on. But here you will not find any gore, twisted creepy quests, splattering blood fountains or any nudity. Redhead will never show what she's hiding. Here you will get no love affairs, no hot scenes by the waterfall, just robot dinosaurs and indigenous people. I played about 30 hours of this game a few years ago on my PlayStation. I had a great time, but I never finished it because I encountered a difficulty spike and I couldn't play anymore without loading a save game that was an hour ago. And I had no intention to do that. So be careful of the places named the Cauldron. Make sure your character level is appropriate before entering inside.
And now thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.